Right, new offices for bookie bashing, so I thought I'd do a first video for shots on target analysis we've just completed, right? So we have just completed an analysis on shots on target, which is a tool that we have that comes up with an expected number of shots on target for every player in a game. Well, not every player, but players that we can find lines from. We use the bookmakers that have an over and under, because a bookmaker that just offers the over could be offering anything. So our theory is that it's not going to be plus EV on either of the lines. Like over's not going to be plus EV, under's not going to be plus EV. So we can sort of have some confidence that the expected shots of target sits somewhere between the over and the under, somewhere. We just don't know where, right? So we work out the margin that has been used, which is like 7 to 10% most of the time. And then we apply a reverse or inverse Poisson probability distribution to come up with the expectancy. And from the expectancy, we can project forward and get over 0, over 1, over 2, over 3 shots on target. The tool has been live since September 2020. Sometimes a little bit contentious. I think a lot of headline boosts from Sky Bet lost the Salah 1 to 10 to evens ones, and so certainly seen some narrative that people have given up on the tool. But we have all of the data, so let's have a look at the data. So we've recorded every single player, every single line of every single player that's been on the tool since 12th of September 2020. We downloaded and started this analysis on the 4th of May 2023. So nearly 3 years, 2 3/4 years worth of data. That was 12,786 players from 1,579 matches. And this is one of the problems we've had with doing the analysis. Really, at the beginning, when we started, we put the tool live. We wanted to calibrate it really, but we were going about results recording the wrong way, because we were thinking we were going to look at the bets that have been put on the bet tracker, which are generally boosts, and we were going to use those to see the performance of the tool. But collecting a sample size was painfully slow that way. It was just taking so long. And so we're doing it a different way now. We've got every single line from the 12,786 players. So we went and we looked up the results of those players. How many shots on target did they get? They got 8,612 shots on target. So the question is, how did the tool perform given that there were 8,612 shots on target? What did the tool say there was going to be? Well, that depends on the calibration of the tool from a user point. Because we have a margin slider just now, you can put all the margin on the under, which would be ridiculous, I think, because why would all the margin be on the under when most people are overs bettors? You could put all the margin on the over, which is what I do. So that would be 0% on the slider, 100% all the margins on the under, 0% all the margins on the over. Or you could be 50% in the middle, or any 1, 2, 3 incremental percentage between 1 and 100%. So what the numbers you see depend on where the slider is. Now, my slider is at 0%, and I've found out that I have overcooked it a little bit at 0%. At 0%, the tool predicted 8,435 shots on target. There were 8,612. At 50%, which is what the tool was released at, there was no slider at the beginning. I don't know when the slider was introduced. Was it 2021? I'm not sure. Now, at the beginning, it was set at 50%. There was no option of a slider. At 50%, the tool predicted 9,549 shots on target, which is like, 10% over what was recorded, with 0% being about 2 to 3% under. So where's the optimal position for the slider? Well, it's between 7 and 8%, but because you can only choose 7 or 8%, because you can't do a fraction of a percent, it's one of the two. So at 7%, the tool estimated 8,589, which is 0.26 under the historical recorded result. At 8%, the tool estimated 8,621, which is 0.11% over the historical results, right? So if you had I mean, I don't know if anyone did have, it'd be quite lucky, but if you happen to have had the slider at 8%, there were 8,612 shots on target, the tool would have estimated 8,621, so pretty much bang on. We used closing lines in this analysis because lines do change over time because the tool is live. We only looked at players that started the game, so of course if a player played no part, why look at him? But also if a player came on as a sub in the 90th minute or something like that, we removed those players from the analysis. All of the data is available in a spreadsheet beneath this blog, or if you're not looking at a blog just now, it'll be up on the results page sooner or later. I'll have that up fairly soon. It's interesting to see how the different stats perform. Actually, for example, assists are actually predicting less than have been recorded, but I me9 sample size is quite low. 7,156 players were looked at. They got 947 assists. We predicted 883. That was at the 50%. That was at the midpoint. So but the rest of them, shots, cards, tackles, and shots on target, the 50% line, there were fewer recorded stats than there were predicted or expected at the 50% line. Each of the stats seems to have their own optimal position on the slider, awkwardly, so we might do an analysis combining all of the stats together. But for shots on target only, anyway, yeah, it's 7 to 8%. And I think, yeah, as I say, moving forward, what we'll do on the bet builder and the bet tracker, we're going to start benchmarking bets there using either 7 or probably, I think 8% is probably the one that we will choose. But it's something that we'll review over time, and we'll just, keep it updated on a 3-month rolling basis. And if we have to start shifting the line to keep it in line with historical accuracy, then that's what we will do.